Welcome, yogis. This is a short mandala flow, meaning we will move to all four corners of our mat. So make sure you have space around you. And if you have blocks, you might want to set one up at the front and one up at the back. Or if you have four blocks, you can do two and two. And we're going to start in a child's pose. Just to settle ourselves, coming into a wide-legged child's pose, toes together, knees wide, torso settled, head towards mat, arms long but relaxed. And just take a few easy breaths here, breathing in through the nose, filling the back body, the side ribs. And exhaling through the mouth, an audible sigh. Feeling the shoulders melt down and away, armpits towards the ground with each exhale. Taking 5 more rounds of breath like that. An extra sip of air at the top of your inhales, fully filling abdomen, side ribs, back body, and then let it go all the way to empty, all the way to the bottom of your breath. And then when you're ready, start to take the breaths exclusively through the nose. Let the mouth stay soft but closed. And breathe equally through both nostrils. See how this settles the mind, focuses on the physical sensation of breathing. And if there's an intention you want to invite into your practice, you are welcome to do so here before we move. Breathing it in, whatever it may be, as simple as staying present, staying with breath. Breathing it out, keeping it at the forefront of your mind. On the next inhale, start to push your palms into the mat. Lift your head, straighten your arms, and slightly start to shift left and right. Moving through the side body, stretching armpits, keeping those hips towards heels. And then take a walk over to one side, keeping hips down and back, reaching with arms and then pressing down and away as you surrender torso and head between arms. Inhale through center, exhale over to the other side, walk, reach, press, surrender, feel the stretch from armpit to hip. And then inhale through center. Stay on the exhale to draw shoulders down and away from ears, elbows drop. And on your next breath, inhale rocks you forward to a tabletop, separating knees and shins and feet. And stay for the exhale, tucking the tailbone slightly, finding the core, finding the strength in arms, and rocking forward and back over those wrists to warm things up as you spread all 10 fingers and really root down through the knuckle bases of those hands. And come halfway, and then tuck the toes. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, reach the chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round, curl, press, and at the bottom with toes tucked, hover the knees for a moment, an inch or two off the ground, find the core. For 3, inhale into our cow. Exhale into our cat with the bonus of hovering knees. Breathing for 2. Maybe eyes are open, gaze is soft, or eyes closed. You tune inwards. Last one. Next time you come down, take a little pause. Untuck the toes if that feels comfortable, leaning back slightly so that the weight is out of the hands, more in the knees, spreading the hands, looking down. And as you spread those palms, or spread those fingers rather, start to lift the heels of the hands and then slowly touch them down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, drop. Little heel lifts just to strengthen and wake up those forearms and wrists. Keep the tension out of the neck and breathe for 3. Still through nose for 1. And then come back, tuck your toes, sit back onto those heels if that's okay. A little stretch for the bottom of our feet as you roll out those wrists, counteracting all of that pressure with the fingers spread. Go both directions with those circles. And then drop your arms, shrug your shoulders in either direction. Semicircle the neck just to wake up all those little parts and pieces through heaviness of skull. And through center, still sitting back on those heels, spreading toes, interlace hands behind you, press palms down, fist towards that ground between those heels. Breathe. And you can stay here or bring one nose towards one armpit, getting a stretch through the opposite trap. And another side. And then come through center. Release the hands, untuck the toes. Tap, 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 let that go. When you're ready to tuck the toes again, this time we'll lift up and back into a downward facing dog. Let the feet be hip-width distance, the hands a little wider than shoulders. And we can bend the knees a lot, crouch, lift hips, press chest back, extend legs any amount, and maybe walk out your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Thinking about those shoulders rolling down and away, biceps forward, triceps back, head loose between arms. And breathe in stillness when you're ready for 2. For 1. Next inhale, high on balls of feet. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Little or big steps get you to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, push the legs away, flatten back. Exhale, fold. Again like that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, lengthen, pause. Exhale, hands to hips, soften knees, press into the feet, come all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale, fold over the legs once again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back into a plank pose. Warming up from those planks now over the wrists, shifting back and forth like we did with our knees down. Always an option to drop knees if you need. And then inhale, stay slightly forward. Knees up or down, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, interlace hands behind the back, press toes into the ground, get them as close as they'll get to one another, and start to peel the chest up and back, and start to feel the upper back and the strength there as you root through those hip bones, squeezing glutes, pressing through tops of feet, firing up lower body as much as upper. And then gently release, hands under shoulders, tuck the toes. Transition into down dog, up and back, and take 3 breaths. And let the head go, shake it, yes, no. Find stillness for at least one of those breaths, with the extension of spine as the focus, hips as high as they'll go. And then inhale, high on balls of feet. Exhale, bend knees, look forward, step, or if you're ready, you can lightly hop to the front of your mat, landing lightly. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift and pause, hands to hips. Exhale, press into feet, strong straight back. We lift up. Inhale, reach. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant palms. Step back with the opposite foot, if you can remember, into your plank. Inhale, shift forward, knees up or down, lower halfway to chaturanga, pause for a moment, feel those active triceps, shoulders, and then lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, interlace the hands behind you, press into feet, hips, and start to lift upper body, lift fist up and away from low back. Gaze stays down, neck only lifts as much as upper back lifts. And you can breathe here or squeezing glutes, keeping toes closer touching. You can lift the legs any amount as long as you don't feel it in the low back. So only making this about the strength of upper back and glutes. And then gently release, hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes, through hands and knees, you press up and back. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. And find your home base in your down dog, a chance to connect with your breath, to focus the mind, maybe come back to an intention you set, or always you can set one during your practice. And also feel what's going on in the body, how you need to adjust, what you need to pay attention to, so you can move mindfully. And from here, we start to build our mandala flow, starting with the right leg lifting up. Inhale, it lifts. Exhale, open the hip, bend the knee, and squeeze the heel towards the glute. Now keep the left toes facing forward. Press through both hands equally. Chest down and towards that left leg like you want to press the body back. Take a breath here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips. And on the exhale, look forward, bring the knee towards the nose and round once you get there into this little hovering core strength plank. Inhale, send the leg up and back. And one more time, exhale, knee towards nose, round, get high on the left tippy toes, press through hands, dome the back. Look between the hands and gently step that right foot there. Fingertips help adjust, setting up for a lunge, and back knee stays up if that feels good. Take a moment, find your stance. Plant your left palm, press into right heel, hug the right hip back. And on the exhale, twist to the right. Right hand can lift or hand to low back. Gaze turns to the right. Big inhale here. Long, slow exhale to move through spine, continuing to hug right hip back. And then you can stay here or look down and start to walk the right foot halfway down the mat, turn the toes to the side, come to the left outer foot, pinky toe edge of both feet. So flexing feet, coming to both outer feet, outer pinky toes, and start to open the hip, letting the knee fall away from the body on that right side, still stacking shoulders and hips, getting a stretch through the outer right hip. Take a breath here. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale, come back through center, frame the foot between the hands, and set up for a high lunge, softening the back knee, pushing through both feet, stacking those shoulders over hips, bending the back knee just to find that little tuck of tailbone and then extension of back leg once you have the containment of the core. And inhale, reach arms up. Stay for the exhale, relax the shoulders like you're holding a beach ball overhead. Big breath here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, straighten legs, reach up. Exhale, open up into a warrior two stance, heel to heel alignment. Once you've got the feet, start to bend into the right knee, externally rotating that leg. So really hugging the hip back in space so that the knee comes right over top of ankle and not coming forward, collapsing in at all. Push through the outer left leg, left foot, left side of the foot rather, and take a breath. Inhale, drop the left hand to back leg. Exhale, right arm up and over to exalt your warrior reach. And inhale, come back to warrior two. One more time. Exhale, exalt your warrior on the out breath. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, come to straighten the legs and turn the toes to the side, hands on hips. Heels in, toes out, little goddess squat for a moment. Hands come through heart center. See how low you can get while still tucking tailbone, not sitting your bum back and your torso forward, staying stacked, shoulders over hips, and staying open through knees so they're not collapsing in. They're still over those middle toes. And just shift side to side once you get low. Feel it out. Find the quad strength. Press through the heels. Breathe for two. Only the legs move. Torso's along for the ride. Last one. And then come through center. Sit a little bit lower. Lift one heel up and drop it down. Lift the other heel up and drop it down. Lift the first heel up. Maybe the second heel up as well. Both heels lifted. Pressing through the balls of feet, spreading toes, sitting low for three, for two, and one. Heels come down, straightening the legs, turning the toes in, heels out, hands on hips. Inhale for a tall spine. Exhale to fold in between the legs, letting the hands come under the face or outside of the ankles, whatever supports you better, as you release the torso and head between those legs. And take a few breaths here. And just hanging over that inverted V. Maybe shifting weight to toes, straightening legs, pushing through those pinky toe edges once again. And stretching backs of legs, hamstrings. Hands under face, fingertips, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, start to walk to the front of your mat. Or to the back of your mat, rather. Yes, walk towards that left foot to the back of your mat. And when you get there, plant your right palm and take a little twist, finding that twist towards the left, stacking shoulders. And breathing here. Gaze can lift, thumb is over nose if you're looking up. Back leg is super active, like you're pushing through that heel. And then close it up, plant the palms, and step into a plank pose, still facing back of your mat. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower halfway or all the way to the belly. From chaturanga or the belly, find your back bend. Maybe you're ready for upward facing dog. Maybe you want to interlace the hands like we did before or take baby cobra. And then on the exhale, we all meet in a down dog for 3 breaths. Breathing here. Again, our home base. Feeling it out, finding some sort of stillness for the last breath. And then we're moving through the same side to start. So inhale the right leg up again. Open the hip, bend the knee, squeeze the heel to the glute. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, square, look forward. This time, bring the foot right between the hands and pause. And we're finding a high lunge setup, softening back knee, slowly rising to a high lunge. This time, interlace the hands behind the back once you have your high lunge. Reach the chest, open the fist you've made down and away, and then slightly lift that fist to get a stretch through the front of the shoulders. Nothing changes in the legs, just find a diagonal with the torso. Gaze is down, neck is long, breathe. And then nothing changes in the upper body. Bring the weight towards the right foot. Start to lift the left foot and find this warrior three balance shape with arms still behind you. That block is there if and when you need it. Release the hands, stay in your warrior three. Interlace the hands and press palms into the thigh in front of you. Square your hips, left leg is lifted, but hip is in line with right. And then reach for that block if you have it. Bring it under your right hand to left hip, and start to slowly open into a half moon shape. Hips stack, shoulders stack. Left hand stays on hip or reaches to sky. Left toes face the side, right toes face forward, and breathe. Keep the head and neck in line with spine. Don't let it come too far forward or back. Like you're moving through molasses, start to bend the right knee. Step the left foot back and find warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, exalt your warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten the leg. Exhale, hips back, arms, torso forward. Triangle pose. Maybe look up to the thumb. Find yourself caught between an imaginary plane of glass in front and behind you. And breathe. Press into feet, rise up. Hands to hips, turn all 10 toes to the side, and then heels in, toes out. Come back into that goddess pose. Hands to thighs this time. And as you sit low, drop one shoulder down as you twist, and then the other shoulder down as you twist the other way. So inhale through center, exhale, twist one direction, and that shoulder on the inside drops down. And do the same on the other side. One more in each direction. Come through center, find your goddess stance with a tall spine, pressing through those feet, getting nice and stacked. Take a breath. And then press into feet, reach arms up, and start to turn all 10 toes to face forward, coming back into a high lunge with the left leg facing the front. Take a breath here. And on the exhale, fingertips down, back knee down, and find a straightened out fold over that left hamstring. Inhale back through center. Exhale, plant palms, step to a plank. Inhale, shift forward, and optional as always, our flows, we lower halfway or all the way. Inhale takes us into our back bend. And exhale, we meet in a downward facing dog for a reset for 3 breaths. Releasing head, shoulders, pressing into left and right entire palms. Maybe close the eyes. And we get to do all of that on the other side. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Open the hip, bend the knee, and squeeze the heel to the glute. Really drop that right heel down. Get a stretch through both legs. And then inhale, straighten legs, square hips. Exhale, come forward, knee to nose, round in that little plank hold for core strength. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, once again, round, hold. And then look forward, bring the foot between the hands, adjust with those fingertips, set up for your high lunge on the left side, and come up when you're ready, finding that bend of the back knee, tuck of tail, press through back heel, and arms are added once you're ready. Nice and wide, getting room away from those ears. Breathing here. And then when you're ready, We're going to take a big inhale here. And exhale, start to open up to warrior two. Good. I realize we missed a step here, so we'll do a little bit in reverse. Hang with me from our warrior two. First, we'll reverse our warrior on the exhale. Inhale, come back to warrior two. And exhale, reverse once again. To even out our sides, come back through your high lunge. And exhale, bring your right hand to the ground, setting up for a twist on the left side. Hug your left hip back in space and either stay here or start to walk your left foot halfway down the mat. Turn the toes off to the side. Flex both feet, coming to the pinky toe edge of both. And start to let that left leg wing away from you for a little stretch. And breathe here. And then look down. And start to walk back into your high lunge. One big inhale to lift. One big exhale to transition to warrior two. A bonus exalt. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back. Inhale through warrior two. Hands to hips. Straighten the legs. Turn the toes. And let the toes come out. Heels in. Sit nice and low into that little goddess squat. Once you have the footing, see if you can rise up with the chest. And this time, let's see if we can lift one heel at a time first. And then hold both heels up. And stay here or a little pulse up and down as you balance on the balls of the feet, as you keep glutes and quads engaged. Spine tall, neck relaxed for 3, for 2, and 1. And drop your heels, straighten your legs, turn toes in, hands interlace behind the back this time, and you find a little pendulum swing of that shoulder stretch up and overhead as you release torso. As you straighten legs and rock the weight to toes, take a breath. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe you find a little movement through the torso if that feels okay. Side to side. And then release the arms under the face. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, turn to the back of your mat. Turn, turn, turn. All 10 toes. Plant your left palm. And find a twist to the right. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then turn to the ground. Plant both palms facing the back of your mat. Step back to a plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower with control, any amount. Inhale, your back bend with that core strength. Exhale, transitions you downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Come back to that home base. Breathe it out. If you need to sigh out the mouth, you're welcome to. Try to hold still in your down dog for at least the last breath. And then inhale when you're ready. You're going to lift that left leg up once again. Open the hip, bend the knee, squeeze. Inhale, straighten, square. Exhale, foot between the hands. Setting up for your high lunge, pressing into feet, rising up with torso. This time, exhale, interlace hands behind the back. Maybe take that awkward interlace, that opposite pinky or thumb on top. Open the chest. Reach it down, away, and then slightly lift just the arms. Nothing changes in the legs, just reach the torso forward on a diagonal into this runner's lunge version. Keep reaching those shoulders down and away from ears. And then nothing changes in upper body. Weight comes into the left leg, lifting the right leg, finding warrior three version with this interlaced hands. Drop your right hip down in line with left, micro bend your left knee. And then bring your hands around, interlace them, push into your thighs, and reach even more out of the crown of your head and the back right heel. And when you're ready, you're going to reach hands maybe to the block or to the ground. Left hand touches, right hand to hip. And you start to open up to your half moon. Stacking hips, flexing foot, finding a stack of shoulders and opening through the chest. And neck stays in line with torso. Take a breath and stay for the exhale. Moving super slow, bend the left knee, step the right foot back. Warrior two, inhale, exhale, exalt. Inhale, warrior two, straighten the front leg. Exhale, left arm forward, hips back, and reach into your triangle pose. The left hand finds its way somewhere to leg, ground, or block. As you open the chest, find that stretch through the inner line of legs. And then a nice lengthening through the torso. And then press into the feet. Turn all 10 toes to face the side. Find that goddess pose once again. Heels in, toes out, sit low. And see if you can get so low that you bring your elbows to those thighs inside of the knee. Or on top, just not right on the knee, and see how low you can get here, shifting side to side, like a really wide malasana squat. Maybe pause through center and focus on getting taller through the spine, tucking tailbone, stacking as much as possible. And then gently start to straighten the legs, turn the toes, walk, walk, walk back to the front of your mat. And this time you're going to drop your back knee, straighten your right leg, hips move back in space, and you find a little hamstring stretch over that front leg. And breathe here. Soften the torso as much as you can. Let it be the weight that encourages the stretch. And then inhale, come forward, plant palms. Exhale to a plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale into your back bend. And exhale, down dog. Final down dog hold. Take 3 breaths here. Find the stance that works. Notice if you can lift the hips higher, spine longer, head heavier, heels reaching for the ground, causing that stretch through bottom leg. Maybe sigh it out, make a noise. And then come high on balls of feet. Bend your knees, drop them wide into a child's pose, and let yourself come back to that opening shape where you can surrender the body. Let the breath be fluid. Come back to the intention you set. If it still resonates, keep it with you. If you want to set a new one, you're welcome to, or let it go altogether. And then gently draw the hands closer to you. Let the head be super heavy as you round yourself up to seated. And move your legs out in front of you, shake them out. Lie down once you come halfway down your mat, and bring your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And rock it out. Knees can come wide, holding shins. And staying here, or happy baby, soles of feet to sky, knees super bend and wide. And grabbing feet or ankles, rocking or holding through center, breathing either way. And then maybe release legs long, grabbing or catching inside of thighs. So you're creating a V shape with the legs wanting to open wide, left and right, and you're just supporting them, bending the elbows. And bend the knees, bring the feet to the ground. And walk the feet wide, knees knock together, hands rest on belly. And follow the rise and fall of that belly with each inhale and each exhale. Soften the face and all the effort in the body, and let yourself rest here after that bit of movement, that required focus. And take as long as you can in your Shavasana, moving only when you're ready to re-enter your day, doing so mindfully and taking a little bit of what you cultivated with you into the rest of your morning, day, evening, week, whatever it may be. And thanks for letting me guide you. Namaste.